Kian, what do you think of when I tell you sweets, fireworks, family, presents, friends?
Oh, that can only mean one thing. Diwali!
That's it, Kian. Diwali's almost here. It's around the corner. And so we dedicate this episode of Conversations with My Son to discussing the Festival of Lights. Hi everyone, welcome to episode 6 and our Diwali special of Conversations with My Son. I'm Tarun and as usual joined by my co-host and son,
Kian!
And this is a super excited Kian. So Kian, are you actually excited about Diwali?
Yes, Papa, of course! I love Diwali! But also, I get a little scared of Diwali and that horrible 10-headed monster. Is it bad? Can you tell me a bit more about Diwali and what it means?
Yes, Kian. I know you're a bit scared because we have a few storybooks about Diwali that we read and you usually get scared of that. But it is a bit about the 10-headed monster. But let's correct it. There's a bit more to it. So, let me tell you what it's all about and maybe along the way some of our other listeners will also know what Diwali is about and more importantly, what we and you do to celebrate Diwali.
So Diwali is a little bit like Christmas?
A bit, Kian. In some ways, Diwali is the most important festival for the Hindus. And like Christmas, it celebrates the good, the good over evil, the gods and things like that. So it's all about family, it's presents, it's food, it's the good stuff. But more importantly, it's an important religious festival. So Christmas is important for the Christians. And Diwali is extremely important for the Hindus. I'd say it's one of our biggest festivals in the Hindu calendar.
Wait a second, I think you're right, because there's some people who like capturing Jesus, but God and Jesus won, and then the person who defeated the ten-headed man won as well. So I think I get what you mean, what you're trying to relate.
Correct. So you're getting it. So let's move on. Let's see what else we can learn about Diwali.
What was it like celebrating Diwali in India?
Oh, Diwali was a lot of fun in India. When we were growing up as kids, it was all about the family. It was time off from school. So as kids, we looked forward to the little break we had from school. But that meant we got to do a lot of stuff around the house. During Diwali, you'd go visit family, you'd visit friends, you'd give them gifts.
Is there decorations?
You'd get gifts, you'd decorate your house with flowers and diyas. We'll discuss diyas because I know you have something to say about diyas as well. We light the house up with diyas and lights all over. It is called the Festival of Lights, so there's lights all over. And we would eat sweets and the Indian kind of sweets. And you would...
Like mithai.
Mithai, correct.
And prasad.
Correct. And then we would start our day by going to pray. So we would go to pray at my dad's factory where you normally started your day by praying to the goddess of wealth, the goddess Lakshmi. And so we would start our day by praying at your dada, so my father's office. Then we would come home, we would have a big lunch, we would have our family come over. Evening time would be about fireworks, lots and lots of fireworks. And then we would have a big family dinner together. So again, it was all about food, family, sweets, presents, all the good stuff. Ultimately, we were celebrating the victory of good over evil. So let me just take a moment again, Kian, to tell you. Many years ago, there was this Lord Rama. And he was banished to the forest by his stepmother. So he went with his wife and younger brother called Lakshman. They were banished to the forest and they spent 14 long years in the forest. There they fought off monsters and demons. And one of the evil kings called Ravana, which is the 10-headed monster you mentioned, he took away Rama's wife. But Rama was brave and with the help of Lord Hanuman, who's the monkey god, they saved Rama's wife, Sita, and they brought her home. And then their 14 years were over, so they all returned home. And when they returned home, the whole city was lit up with lamps and diyas and lights and everything. And that's when we celebrate Diwali, which is the Festival of Lights. So the return of the god King Rama back home.
Oh, I get it now. the wealth god, you pray for it. So that's why you do puja.
Yes, we do puja to all the gods of the Hindu. In Hinduism, Kian, we have a lot of gods, and God of Wealth is one of them. Rama is another god. There's God Lord Ganesha, the elephant god. There are many, many gods, and you end up praying to a lot of them. But Diwali is mostly about Lord Rama and his family.
Oh, so Diwali, what was it a big deal?
Yes, Diwali is a big, big deal, Kian. Just like Christmas is a big deal for Christians, Diwali is huge in India. And if you were living in India now, people would be all over the place, shopping, buying gifts, going out, meeting family, friends, all of that stuff. You heard your grandmother today. She said she's been cleaning her house for a week. So they're preparing for Diwali. You end up start cleaning all the house, scrubbing the walls, painting everything. So it is a big deal. People prepare for months and months and months for Diwali.
So they're doing to make the decorations. So they're trying to make the decorations ultra ultimate.
Yes, very nice.
So did you get a lot of gifts?
Yes, we were very lucky, Kian. When we were young, my parents gave us a lot of gifts, but more importantly, my grandparents, they gifted us a lot of stuff. We were very, very fortunate to have grandparents who were kind enough to give us gifts every year on Diwali. And so we always looked forward to it. And it could be something as simple as a toy or a book, but sometimes it could be something more expensive or fancy, like a little bit of jewelry or a nice chain or something like that. So we were very, very lucky with our grandparents. But we always looked forward to Diwali because of that also, because it meant, again, lots of gifts.
Yeah, there's lots of different things about Diwali, though, not just the gifts. But I get that lots of grandparents, lots of them, give lots of gifts.
Correct. And in Sindhi, we call it kharchi. You know what kharchi is, I think. It's where you're given money. So my grandparents, so my dadi and dada, and my nani and nana, so my mom's parents always gave us kharchi on Diwali, which was a little bit of money to allow us to go and either save or spend it on something. So we always looked forward to Diwali for that as well, because it meant lots and lots of gifts and lots of things to do.
Do you find it... Oh, did you meet a lot of family?
We did. We went around. We had family visit us. We would visit family. We would exchange gifts. So yeah, it was all about family time as well. And in India, we had a big, big family. So it was great to see them on Diwali time.
Oh yeah, I've heard you had a big, big family.
You've met most of them, Kian. You've met most of my family in India now.
Oh yeah, but I've heard you also talking about quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find a difference between Diwali in India and the UK? Do you miss India?
Yes, sometimes, Kian. There is a different feeling sometimes to Diwali in India and Diwali in the UK. Of course, now you're my family, so we celebrate Diwali nicely here. But I used to always look forward to Diwali in India, and it was a big, big deal. There is a bit of difference because ultimately Diwali is the main festival in India, and everything gets dedicated to that. Whereas in the UK, not everyone celebrates Diwali, so it doesn't feel as festive all the time. Yes, there are parts of India and there are lots of parts of London and the UK where, there are big Diwali celebrations, but it's not the same always. But what matters is family, and I'm glad I can celebrate it with you guys here.
We still try to, make Diwali here as special as it was in India.
Yes, of course. So, Kian, now that I've told you about Diwali, I think you've learned a bit. So let me ask you some questions about Diwali. What does Diwali mean to you?
Oh, it just means lots of fun, like meeting family, fireworks, praying, like that.
Correct. So you get
decorations.
And decorations.
Really good decorations.
Do you want to tell them what we do for decorations around the house? Because we discussed this a little bit at the start.
So we put diyas,
Do you want to tell them what diyas are?
Oh yeah, they're like a sort of candle that you light for 4 or 5 days for the countdown of Diwali and just to light up. That's also why it's called the Festival of Lights.
Correct. You light up your house and you keep it lit up all through Diwali for the 4 or 5 days, right? It looks really pretty. Is it a big deal in our house, Kian? Do you feel like we celebrate it a lot?
Oh yes, it's very big because we do as many celebrations as we possibly can think of.
What do we do? You want to tell people what do we do in Diwali?
So we do lots of things like fireworks, puja, like decorations I already told you, and have big meals, wear fancy clothes.
Yes, you like wearing your Indian outfit, right, for that, and you wear your kurta and your pajamas for that.
I have a favorite.
You have your favorite as well. I think you like wearing it because it's also comfy, wonky.
Yeah, and it's not too long.
Yes, and then I think it gives you a chance to appreciate your heritage and your culture from my side, right? Do you feel like you learn a bit about Diwali from that?
Oh yes, it's just an exciting thing that I like having to spend because it does mean a lot. Yes, it means a lot. But what I also want to do, we've never done this, have we? Go to India and celebrate Diwali there.
No, but I bet if we told your grandparents, if you told your daddy and dada that we're coming, they would love to have you over, right? Wouldn't you want to go and celebrate in India sometime?
Yeah, oh yes, but I would also like that to start
to come here, possibly?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we can get them over here, but if you go to India, maybe Dadi can show you all the stuff she does at home, and we can go watch the fireworks. There's a lot of fireworks in India. You would just sit and, you could just stare at the fireworks for hours and hours because people keep lighting them. I think that would be exciting, no?
I bet it would be.
You would love that, I think. And your grandmother, I bet when she listens to this, she's going to call you right away and say, Kian, you should come home for Diwali.
Okay, we can try to do that. We can't do it this year because we need to book in advance. But probably we might have enough time next year.
We can try it. Maybe if we get our holidays, which are matching with Diwali, we can do that.
Yeah, I feel like we had holidays on Diwali
last
year.
Next time we'll do it. We'll plan it better, right? And I think Dadi would love to have you for home for Diwali.
Yes, and going back to the fireworks, how many colors are there? Because I feel like the colors could just go on and on forever.
They do. They go on forever and ever and ever. It's like the New Year's fireworks here, but even longer and even more elaborate than the fireworks you see in London on New Year's Eve.
So is it like just a rainbow that just keeps shining and shining and shining and shining?
Exactly. So, Kian, do you feel better now? Do you feel like you've learned a lot about Diwali?
Oh, yes.
And I know we're reaching the end of our episode, so what I'm going to ask you is, because I know you've been doing this regularly with the last few, we leave our listeners with one lesson from you about festivals. So maybe we can use this time again for you to tell our listeners what you think about Diwali, but what you think about festivals in general. So do you want to give our listeners a little bit of a review on what your one lesson is for festivals?
One lesson about the festivals, they are similar. They are about friends, family, and happiness. And on liberty, they are about respect each other and loving each other. If you think about it, all religions essentially preach out the victory of good over evil, and it is the same with Diwali and other religions too. Which means we all think the same and should appreciate and respect each other's religions.
That's amazing, Kian. That's such a good insight. You did well. I think that's a good lesson for not only Diwali, but just festivals and religions in general, where you need to appreciate, enjoy, and celebrate with everyone. So I think with that, we've almost reached the end. We've run out of time, and so
We'd like to say thank you once again for listening to our podcast. We hope you keep following us. We wish you and your families and loved ones a very happy Diwali. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you for joining us and wishing you a very happy and prosperous Diwali from Kian and me. See you next time. Don't forget to download and listen to your podcasts wherever you get them, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else. This is Tarun and Kian signing off. Happy Diwali. Bye-bye.
Happy Diwali! And make sure you check out the fireworks. They're really good.